What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's doing excellent on this soggy Saturday in New Jersey. Before we get started, I just want to thank everybody that's offered support during my whole David Goggins challenge. The social media support was amazing. The donations, the entire experience was overwhelming. It was humbling, and I cannot thank everybody enough. In terms of the Jets, obviously the biggest story yesterday in the NFL was the Deshaun Watson case. Now he's been cleared of his charges. And now the Houston Texans are going to explore trading him. I saw many people were mentioning, hey, the Jets should do it. Now, I was, before all these things happened with Deshaun Watson, I was an enormous fan. I campaigned the trade for him last year before all this happened. But a year later, the Jets are in a much different spot now. And to me, it doesn't make any sense to even approach this idea of trading for Deshaun Watson. You draft Zach Wilson. You're trying to build around him. He showed you some good things. You're clearly a young team in a true rebuild, and you need all your resources possible to move forward. Now, I understand that Deshaun Watson's heading into the peak of his career, prime of his career, but the compensation it would take to get him would set your rebuild back another year or two. And that's the problem. While a great quarterback can elevate the play of your team, the Jets aren't one player away. They're not two players away. They're about 4 or 5 players away. They need a lot of resources to rebuild this team, and I think at this point, you stay with the course. And if you find out, this year, next year, Zach Wilson's not your guy, well, guess what? The front office is going to be gone. The coaching staff is going to be gone and everything else. So I think you just stay with what you're at. You stick with Zach. He's your guy. And you build around him. You get the weapons. You improve the offensive line. You get your receivers. You don't chase the name. You don't chase this is like you have the budget for a Toyota Camry and you're trying to go buy a Range Rover or something like that. I just think we're not there right now. We're a year ago you say, you know what? We want to chase Watson. We want to blow everything up and try a different approach. That's fine. But right now, you're in a different state of your rebuild, and you're already making progression. To me, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't do it. Now, I understand that there are fans that want Watson. You could see, Woody Johnson saying, you know what? I want to sell tickets. I want to win now. I understand that approach. But if you're going to stay true to what we've all been selling for last year, it's stay the course. So the next name that keeps getting mentioned to me is Saquon Barkley, which, Saquon Barkley a couple years ago, very good player. Now, after injuries and everything else, you're not really sure what he is. He's on a last year's contract, $7 million. So you got to trade for him and then pay him $7 million this year. What's the compensation? Probably wouldn't be much, but I don't know if it's even worth it. To me, at this point, running backs are a dime a dozen. You could draft another one. You have Michael Carter. There's other guys out there that would be cheaper than Barkley, that would be just as serviceable if you believe in the scheme. Now, it could be like a low risk, high reward thing, but you're still paying him $7 million. So I don't know. I understand the name, and I don't like chasing names. And to me, especially in Mike LaFleur's offense, where they don't really have a bell cow running back, you like Michael Carter. I'm sure they're going to sign somebody else, but to me, I don't get the whole Barkley thing. And I mean, if they do it, great. And hopefully you get lightning in a bottle. But then it's the last year of his contract, so it's basically a 1-year Band-Aid, unless you want to go pay a running back big money next year, which I don't want to do anyway. So it's kind of like a stopgap fix for me because I don't like paying running backs. So to me, I'm out on that. The other one is Amari Cooper, where the word around town yesterday was that the Cowboys would be willing to accept a 3rd or 4th round pick for Cooper. Now that's interesting because now your compensation, if you can get Amari Cooper for a 4th round pick, the catch is going to be, all right, you do that, but it's $20 million a year. $20 million a year for a very good receiver that you can add to the mix, which makes this offense very, very interesting. Now, that's fascinating to me. It'd be hard to be mad about it. Depending, some are saying Cooper's on a decline of his career. I mean, I don't know about all that. To me, he's very good. I mean, that's you could be a missing puzzle that you're looking for, especially when you consider that I don't think DK Metcalf's going to be available. Calvin Ridley's no longer an option. All your top receiving options are gone. We've been pretty much talking about like Christian Kirk and DJ Chark and guys like that. Amari Cooper's on a different level. Now, if you want to say, you know what, don't do that and go after an Allen Robinson, I'm all in because I love Allen Robinson. But I think the compensation for him is going to probably be $17, $18 million a year as well. The other thing you got to think about for those that are saying, you know what, don't trade for Cooper. The Cowboys are in a bad spot. They got to cut him, which is true. The hardest part will be is getting these guys to come here. I think that's where the Jets tax is going to come in because the Jets are not a winning team. They're not an established team, and they're not an established offense with a prominent quarterback. So to say, hey, you know what, Allen Robinson, we want you to come here. We'll get your numbers, but you haven't shown you could do that with Zach Wilson. Even Amari Cooper. I think the thing is that these top receivers are going to want to get paid, and B, put up numbers, and C, they want to win. Can the Jets offer all that? No. So I think that's where if the Jets are all in on Amari Cooper, you trade for him, because then you're going to get him. You're guaranteed to get him. You know what you're paying him. Because if he goes to the open market, you're pretty sure not going to get him. So that's more of what do the Jets want. They have the resources to pretty much do whatever they want at this point. If you want to go get your guy, you can get him, and then you double down with it. So we'll see what happens. We're going to be streaming Monday night, probably Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be streaming a lot throughout free agency, making all kinds of videos. But a quick recap, I like Deshaun Watson. I just think wrong time for this player. It's just stick with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's your guy. You back him up. You support him. You better hope he's the right one. Saquon Barkley, it's a name at this point. I don't think at this point it's worth the draft compensation and the money. You just draft the running back. Amari Cooper, let's go. Other free agent guys that I like, I talked about Bradley Bozeman, the center. The Jets want a center. I don't know if Ryan Jensen really is a good fit here. Tyler Conklin at tight end, I think would be a good match too. Kind of not top end guys. I see a lot of people talking about Marcus Williams at safety. I'd be shocked if the Jets go pay somebody $17 million a year. I like Jordan Whitehead. I don't, there's a couple of other options like lesser money. I just don't think the Jets right now are going to break the bank at one position and pay the guy to be the highest at his position at any position. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.